I've been an instigator, troublemaker, whatever you want to call it, back in Arizona for 36 years. Prior to moving to Texas roughly 4 years ago. I'm a firm believer in the surveying profession and what it has to contribute to the geospatial industry. And I think in some cases I'm probably going to be preaching to the choir up here today, because I see a lot of my friends and peers and co-workers in the audience. But for those of you people that are here today to try to figure out why you're here today, hopefully this presentation will get you off the fence, so to speak. Because again, I'm a firm believer that you're already doing GIS work. You're just not thinking of it that way or selling it that way. And this presentation was kind of built along that premise, unknowingly that this summit was going to be so heavily geared towards how we get people to step forward and provide those types of services. So maybe some confirmation for some of you, and that's a good thing. In the past, I would tell the audience that I view GIS as a logical extension of my career path. The last couple of years, I've been rethinking that. And what I now tell people is I view GIS and geospatial services as part of my business plan, or extension of my business plan. We'll get a couple slides going here. Albeit inadvertently, surveying and engineering firms have historically been at the foundation of geospatial evolution. Is that a true statement? Anyone want to challenge that? No?
Challenge the inadvertently.
Inadvertently, huh? You think it's been by design that we're ending up where we're at today?
By design with the foundation of geospatial industry, yeah.
I mean, we're going to have a little extra time, so I'm going to dig into, some of these statements I'm putting up here, because I can be a talking head up here and you can listen to me, but I love to be challenged, because I think it's only when we have the type of conversation that we had yesterday in the panel discussion that we really get to the root of what it is we're all trying to learn here. I say inadvertently because years and years ago, engineers and surveyors were just out there just locating things kind of willy-nilly, unknowingly that it was going to end up inside of the GIS systems of today. Your legacy data, by and large, makes up what's in a GIS today. So, what are we going to do about this? Gee, I think I put this presentation together. And this statement here, your past geospatial work is used in the GIS today, is not going to change. And it's only expected to grow in the future. Because in many cases, your sources of GIS, you're providing the sources of GIS-based data sets. Aerial photography, imagery, parcels, transportation systems, utility systems, design of those systems are all ending up inside of GIS systems and asset management systems. This is another one of the things I like to tell people. We are definitely moving away from the old world digitizing methods of the past, and we're into a measurement era today. And when you start talking about measurement, who are we really talking about? What is it that, as licensed professionals, we're responsible to do? We're responsible to measure things. We put things on the earth accurately, locate boundaries. That's our area of expertise, is measurement. So think about that. GIS in the past, digitizing away, creating all these data sets, and where are we at now? We're out there doing real-world digitizing with GPS units in the field. We're doing real-world capturing of elevation model with LiDAR data sets. These technologies, and some of the stuff I saw yesterday that Trimble's doing, being able to send information back from the field immediately to populate a GIS system or a database. That's phenomenal when you stop and think about it. That's truly real-world digitizing, because as soon as they're collecting it, where's it ending up? As soon as they can transmit it back over the cellular airways, it's back into GIS. And the reason that this past is going to create future workforce You've all seen this kind of stuff. We got a couple roadways there, one in blue and one in red, that are supposed to represent the actual highway. Well, we know they generalize those things on the map so that they can be shown, but nonetheless, people use data sets like these and try to figure out what's going on, and it just leads to confusion and to chaos. So what are we starting to require in our GIS data today? Greater accuracy. Look at the parcels in the middle slide there, and then look at them over on the far right where they're correctly registered. I mean, those conditions exist. One, the red data set is a county data set, and the blue data set is a municipal utility district data set. They need greater accuracy, but don't we all? So, point being, future geodata specs will require this greater accuracy. Well, who's going to provide it? Are we just going to generate it, rubber sheet it? Are we going to continue to massage it, and then only to find out that it's still not really what we're looking for? I think now's the time to try to get it right. In the years past, it was cost prohibitive. That is no longer the case. GIS sits on so many desktops, it's in so many web browsers, it's so widely distributed that inaccurate data just isn't going to meet the public's needs as well as people in this room's needs. I heard a statement yesterday, we'll get to it in a minute, but hopefully I won't forget because it's not part of my script here. Surveying and engineering data is being captured from sources for migration into GIS. All types of sources, paper documents, that digitizing stuff's still going on. You know, you go to a public utility agency and all they've got is paper sources in some cases. And that's an opportunity for you, by the way. Help them convert those documents. As engineers and surveyors, who understands better what's on those documents than the people that designed it and the people that surveyed it and put it on the ground? They want you to capture the attributes, not just put it on the ground and have some knowledge about those things. What they want you to do, or what they need to have done, is they need to have these data sets in GIS so they can be migrated or coupled with asset management systems. Our infrastructure is crumbling. I heard it yesterday, you probably hear it all the time. Well, is this going to change? They've used paper in the past to try to bring information into GIS. Yesterday, I heard a couple discussions about CAD data and readily being able to export CAD data in. And then some gentleman stood up in the back of the panel discussion, I believe it was, and said, well, I'm in a state where the State Surveying Society wants to restrict the use of CAD data or distribution of CAD data to these entities to use for that purpose. Is that person in the room, by the way? Unfortunate, because I'd like to get a little bit more clarification. To be perfectly blunt with you, that's ignorant. I mean, really, that will do more damage to the surveying profession than it will do good. If you want to restrict the use of data, perfectly good data, you're just putting a target on your back. And as I started this out, you know, I've been around long enough to have that target on my back and learned that I've got a few arrow wounds to prove it from saying stupid things like that. GIS is often run and geospatial data is being generated all over this country. We need to be part of that solution, not a roadblock to that solution. We need to stand up and say, our data is good. We put it together, we measured it, we're certifying it, we want you to use it. Not to, oh, you can't have that because I created it. Well, sell it if you need to. Do whatever you need to do, and that's what you need to come out of here with thinking about is how do I encourage that with people that I know, that I work with, to make this really happen. Did I say it right, Robert?
Amen.